northwest corner of Easterville Road in Bernie Lane. PIN number 181-513, Ellis County. Purchase District, PIN number, City of Red Oak, Ellis County. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 26-10, requested by Michael Westfall. Staff, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Commission. Thank you, Commissioners, and thank you, Chairman. As you mentioned, this is a request for an SUP for a detailed car wash on the subject property. Actually, the applicant, the way that they have mentioned it, is a car wash and a detailed car wash. This is a split zone property. Let me get you oriented with this particular site. So it is just east of the Walmart site right there along Old Villa. So kind of 35 right here. We have the Walmart site that's right there. Walmart is a kind of a marker, kind of make it easy for you guys to get oriented with it. And it's right there along Bernie Road, Bernie Road, and Old Villa right here to our south. So this site that's just here at that corner. So all of this site here, and kind of look at our exhibits for this one. So this is our site here. As I mentioned, this one is a split zone, so it's zone C1HO. The applicant is proposing a car wash kind of in the front and a detailed car wash in the back, the buildings that are there. So we'll jump through quite a bit of information that's for this particular site. So portion of the property is zoned C1, then it's zoned HO. And the applicant is proposing those two uses on the site, in which usually you would have one use that would cover the entire site, in which that's what you would have, and as well as meeting all of the requirements for that particular use on, if they're going with what they're calling it, you would have to be required to meet all of the requirements for that use on each particular site. So in each zone, you would be required to meet all of the uses for it. So if we're looking at the particular car wash use, then you would be required to meet all of the parking in that car wash area, in which they're lacking parking in that area, as well as in the HO site of the detailed car wash, they will be lacking parking inside of that detailed car wash area as well. Landscaping, the applicant is meeting all of the landscaping inside of that area. For the building, they're proposing two buildings that are 100% masonry. With that, they do have some glazing on those buildings. We'll kind of look at some of that. So here's of course, the landscaping that's going to be along Old Villa and as well as Bernie Road. They do have some down, more so to the north of the property. That's kind of where that road is, along right there by Walmart. Here's our buildings that they're proposing. So the 100% masonry with that glazing that's going to be surrounding the building, which we do like about the particular buildings with the masonry and the glazing. So architecturally, those would be fine. However, staff does recommend disapproval for the site, along with the elements of the development requirements not met. It is not the highest and best use that we will be looking for in this particular area when it comes to sales tax as well. Just we want to capture the most sales tax that we can, especially in those high areas of a possibility for sales tax, mainly being along the I-35 area and Old Villa is what we would be looking for as far as capitalizing on sales tax when we can get that sales tax in those areas. Kind of as we mentioned last time when we brought a similar request, or this actual request forward, some of those adjacent properties that we do have surrounding that, the Chick-fil-A, in which we do generate, or what we receive from them will be, or Chicken Express, I'm sorry, be around $2,700 a month sales tax. AutoZone, we receive around $4,200 a month in sales tax. 7-Eleven, around $4,500 a month in sales tax. The 7 Brew will be around $3,000 in sales tax for that area. And like I said, that would be kind of a high sales tax generating area possibility for us. So that's what we're looking for in those areas right there along the Old Villa and 35 areas for that. outside of that, those are kind of going to be our main concerns with that. Is like I said, the development requirements for that not being met, especially in those zoning. Additionally, inside of the HO zoning district, we actually do not allow for the detailed car wash to be one of the uses that you can apply for a SUP for. So, but I will stand for any additional questions if you so have.
Okay, thank you, Roger. Appreciate that. This is a public hearing. Those that are in favor of this item, you can go first. Those who may be against this item can go second, or you can come to the microphone if you just have questions. As of right now, the public hearing is open for agenda item new business number 2. So once you come to the podium, please state your name and your address, please.
Good evening. My name is Michael Westfall with Westfall Engineering. I'm the applicant and civil engineer, mainly here to answer any questions that come up, but also to explain a little bit on the changes that were made since you last saw this item 2 months ago. If you remember, it was voted on, I think 3-2 for denial. And we decided after that to table it. The developer decided to table it so we can look into the concerns that were brought up during that denial process. And there was 3 different concerns that were brought up. One of them was the highest and best use of the property. So we looked at other things that could potentially go here, like a retail building, a restaurant, or different items. The property is very long and very narrow. It's between 90 and 100 feet wide. Most retail buildings are between 65 to 75 feet wide. And so you wouldn't be able to front anything on a villa. We tried to site plan out some retail. Okay, could we get it to fit? The reality is you can't get a retail building on here with parking and fire lanes that would be required. So because of that, I believe car wash is a good fit for this particular piece of property. And Mohammed Sharaf was here in May and presented other items with the car wash as far as tax and different things. So I won't even get into that. And hopefully you guys remember that presentation. One of the other items that was brought up as a concern was drainage. Bernie Road is a little bit, it's got some challenges and there's some drainage issues, especially on the east side of the road. The drainage on the east side of the road does drain down south towards FM 664, which is currently under construction. And they have storm system improvements as part of their plans. On the west side of the road for this car wash, all of that water drains west away from the road currently to the existing Walmart detention pond. And we are not proposing any changes to that drainage pattern. It will all continue to go west and none of it will go to Bernie. So we believe the drainage concern was addressed through that. The third concern was traffic. Bernie Road is very narrow. The road right now is about 18 feet wide. So the lanes are one way, 9 feet each direction. Since that last meeting, we did hire a traffic engineer, a specialty engineer to look at the traffic patterns and have come back and made a modification to our site plan where we are recommending a southbound right turn lane onto a villa on Bernie. There you go. That may make it a little bit clearer. So the yellow would be the additional pavement. So in addition to just the right turn lane, we were adding about 15 feet of pavement so that the 2 lanes adjacent to it could be widened out from 9 feet to about 11 feet. So you'd get 3 11-foot wide lanes with a dedicated right turn lane southbound. That seemed to be where a lot of the congestion was happening. That's what the traffic engineer's report also showed. And I believe that was representative of real world conditions when we were out there looking as well. So we feel like we've addressed the concerns that came up with that. The zoning is a little bit interesting because it's split between the HO and commercial, but all of this would be kind of one use, and it just kind of the way the property lines and the zoning makes that a little bit goofy, which is why we're having to do the SUP request for the car wash. Other than that, I'm here to answer any questions that come up from you or from anyone in the audience.
All right, thank you, Michael. Anyone else?
I'm representing the Country Garden Estate two that is butts up to Bernie Road. And it's a senior citizens area and it's designated senior citizens. We are very, very
Give us your name, ma'am,
concerned about
if you don't
the,
mind. Could you give us your
Okay,
name and your
okay.
address, please? I'm
we're
sorry.
very concerned about the noise factor as,
Name and address.
Name and address.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jan Kavanaugh,
Okay,
114 Sunglow Loop.
okay.
And I
Thank you.
do live in the city, yes. In our senior area, we only have 16 houses and, we're all seniors, have to be over 55. We have some that are on hospice care and some that are needing to be on hospice care. We're very, very concerned about the traffic situation, the noise and, the lighting that would be, detrimental to the area. I don't know if you know it or not, but on down the road on Bernie, there is a trucking company. So we already have a tremendous amount of traffic and noise from those. And we just want you to consider the senior citizens that live in that area.
Okay,
And think about us.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? If not, can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move to close.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed for agenda item number 2. Commissioners, you have any questions here for the applicant?
I have a couple.
Okay.
Knowing your other facilities, does this one not have a area for individuals to do their own detailing, vacuuming? Is that what the parking at the end closest to Walmart Drive is?
Yeah, so if you look,
Please
Right
state your name, sir.
yeah, my name's Khaled El Shahimi, 206 Lisa Way in Red Oak. If you look here at the back of the property, there's 14 dedicated free vacuum spots where
Okay.
customers will be able to use.
All right. And what would your hours of operations be?
Typically we're 8 to 8,
8 to 8?
8 to 8,
Okay.
yeah, Monday through Sunday.
You've got a facility in Midlow
Yes,
and you have one in Waxahachie.
correct.
Ballpark, what are you paying in sales tax to those two cities?
Sales tax, so car washes do not generate sales tax for the reason that they're a service, we're not selling anything product wise, yep. Yep, but our buildings are, high value because of the equipment that's inside of it and the sheer size that we build them at. So we pay a lot in property tax. So,
Okay.
I think
And-
this,
And that,
go ahead,
does that depreciate over time?
just like everything else, yes.
I guess Jen from the audience that spoke, she was mentioning noise. Can you address the noise of a car wash or this particular car wash?
Sure. So the majority of the noise of the older car washes and kind of what the car washes are notorious for are very old equipment. Whereas the new stuff that's come out, the technology that's come out on the equipment, it's more suppressing. It's not as loud. Don't get me wrong, it's still loud, but it's not as loud as it used to be. Number one. Number two, where the blowers are located on this property, they're more on the front end of the road where Ovella is, not to the back where, the Walmart entrance is on Burnley. So,
At your other sites, have you had problems managing noise from loud music, people doing their vacuuming and
so,
cleaning out?
so at all our lanes and all our stalls, we have no loud music allowed. Everything is kind of managed. We have a crew of, on a site like this, we'll probably have a crew on a normal day of 20 people. So we're always around making sure that our guests are following the rules and not having loud, obnoxious music playing or anything like this. Yeah, we keep it very professional. I'm sure if you visited one of our sites before, you'll hopefully attest to that.
Okay.
What about site lighting? Is there a lot of site lighting?
Of course, yes. Yeah, we build them, I mean, if you've lived here long enough and you've visited the surrounding cities, you've seen what our properties look like. So this will be even more advanced, more modern. You know, it won't be anything. We don't cut any corners, that's for sure.
Plus you have a location off of Bear Creek.
Correct, yes. We just opened that one in May. Yep, so that one's been a lot of fun with all the construction around it.
Yeah, actually, yes. I've been down that street a few times, so yes.
Y'all should charge for people cutting through, charge a toll.
You know, what's funny is that we talked to the police department and they've been kind of posting out, making sure that the people aren't coming through. If they are, they're like, either you get a ticket or you get a wash. So it's been good. We like that.
So this is two tunnels. They could both be going at once.
Yeah, so let me kind of explain the concept a little bit here. Let's see here, what am I looking at? Can you show me? Sorry. Oh. Okay, so the entrance will be here. I don't know if you can see the cursor, but it'll be here. You turn left. These are the pay lanes. This will be the express exterior car wash tunnel. You know, we waters, the soaps, the blowers will be all on this side. Upon exiting, the customer has the option to either leave and go to the free vacuums, which will be here. Or if they've purchased an interior service, they will enter through this lane here, loop around, and then they'll be able to enter this tunnel here to where it pulls onto a big flat belt. And they get out of their car, they get their coffee, we jump in, we clean out the inside, it moves the car. You know, within 6 minutes or so, 6 to 8 minutes, we've done the inside, vacuum, wiped down, dusted, all the fun stuff. And then as it's coming out here, they get back into their vehicle, and then now they're able to either leave this way or go through here and leave, you know, through the Walmart exit. Very, very quick, very simple. We have this concept in a few other locations, Weatherford, Dallas, on Northwest Highway. Very successful. Customers love it. Quick service. We have membership options for it. So, you know, it's something that we feel can really bring value to the city. Something that's unique to Ellis County, especially, that no one else here has. We're just very excited. You know, this is basically my hometown. I graduated from high school here back in 2011, been here for 25, 26 years. And we're, you know, trying to bring in new services, new things into the city, along with, you know, Victron Energy and Mohammed Sharaf, who unfortunately isn't able to be here right now. But like I said, we're excited. This property, you know, it's a challenge because of the size and the layout of it. You know, I know there was mentions for something retail or a strip, you know, retail building or anything like this, but I feel like my personal opinion as a resident of the city is that I'm getting tired of looking at donut shops and nail salons. You know, I want to see something unique, something interesting, something that's, you know, going to make Red Oak different than all the other cities around it. And, you know, most people might think it's just a car wash or just, you know, all we do is wash cars. But with the detail belt and how it's designed and the speed of it and how unique it is, you know, I feel like it would be a really exciting and beneficial feature that we could really offer the residents of the city.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, will the improvements to the road be complete before the car wash opens?
That's more of a Michael question. About textile improvements or the Bernie Lane?
The turning lanes on Bernie,
Yeah,
will that be the, you know, who knows about Ovilla Road, but
that would be part of the civil done.
so that would be complete prior to the opening. Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you like a combination of questions. You'll see what I'm getting at. In a, let's say an hour average, how many cars can go through the tunnel? Like how long does that take? And then how many spots do you have for people to wait? Like how many people go through normally in an hour? what I'm getting at is, do you have enough holding space to hold enough cars
Sure.
as to get them through?
Yeah,
so that
so
we're not
are you
having to
talking
do it.
about the detailing side
Well,
or
no,
just the
just
express
so
side or
that-
just in general? How many cars an hour can we pump through that tunnel and you know, not have a traffic jam?
Yeah,
So let me put it in perspective for you. I'll give you a little story. Remember back last year, March, we had that dust storm? If you guys remember, kind of
Yeah.
everything was dusty for a few days. Well, we love those types of storms, and I kind of drove around and I visited our washes in Midlothian and Waxahachie, and then I went to competitors' washes to see kind of where we stack up as far as processing time. And what I realized is that we were lined up to the street, wrapped around to the exit or the entrance, and you know, it was in and out in about 8 to 10 minutes. And that's our busiest day of the year. You know, Waxahachie, we washed over 2,200 cars that day, which is
okay,
nuts to hear, right?
yeah,
But you're out in 6, 8, 10 minutes, you're done, right? I went to a competitor's wash in Midlothian, was there for an hour and a half. In the line, I could not move. I was stuck. So that just puts it in perspective for you. You know, typically on a great day, we can do 180 cars an hour and we don't even look busy. That's just the way we operate, right? Just how washmasters operate. So that kind of puts it in perspective for you. As far as the holding and things like this, we have no problem processing cars and getting them in and out very quickly because that's kind of our bread and butter is, you know, that's what we offer. That's what we, you know, advertise is you're in, you're out, 3 minutes or less, no issues.
well, and the market, of course, levels out. If you can't get them in and out, they don't show up. So-
Exactly right.
I
So
got
if you can't, you know, you set it for the Super Bowl, and if you can't perform on those days, then you're in the wrong business.
No, I was just trying to make sure you have enough holding area that we're not. back
Yeah,
up
so
area.
like I said, you know, we can knock him out pretty quickly. There's not really an issue as far as that. That's kind of what we pride ourselves on.
My biggest concern is that I don't feel that this is a great use. We have, to the east, we have another car wash. I'm sure they're substandard to your car wash. I hear great things about you. But we have one to the east, that's a mile away.
Mhm.
We have one to the west, that's about a mile and a half away on the other side of the 35. And it's great you're pushing 2,200 cars through at zero income for the city. Zero. It doesn't matter what you're paying property taxes, you're gonna pay that anyway.
Well, if you have a building that's worth $2 million, then yeah, or if you have a building that's worth 10 with the equipment inside that's worth 1.5, then
Yeah.
you know it makes a difference for sure. The retail is you know, sales tax, I understand is super important and we get it. But like I said, this property is very narrow. The design, the way it's laid out is very hard, and that's probably why it's been sitting there for a while. You know, I know the hospital's had it for sale for some time, and it's just hard for anyone to really get anything that's gonna generate, you know, high building cost, high revenue as far as sales to where it's worth it, especially with the expensive life we live now with the world the way it is. So
Does Glen Heights have the detail tunnel?
No.
Or that's all done outside.
that's
It's never-
all express is what we call it. Yeah, just outside, and then they can do it themselves in the free vacuums.
And the one to the east. Yeah, you can drive through or you can.
Which one, where is that?
Red Oak P&Z. Over past Dollar Tree.
It's next to the Solomons.
Oh,
Yeah. So they have express and they have full detail and they have detail.
One is the one down by me open yet? It's by the daycare and all that, storage.
That one I'm gonna open.
Yeah.
All right, you have any more questions for the applicant?
No, not for that. I do have one for Mr. Palmer though.
I do too. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Has anyone else approached the city about interest in that lot and putting a business there?
At this time, not to my knowledge. I think
And-
previously there was an inquiry at this particular site, but since we've received the application from this applicant, not
Oh.
yet.
How long ago was the previous inquiry?
What? Yeah,
Couple of years? Okay.
You said a couple of years ago?
And I know that we discussed this, Ben was talking about the best use for that space and talked about how shallow the lot is from east to west. Can you answer how many businesses, if they put in a strip center and we're gonna put in donut shops and nail salons or whatever? I mean, we can't put a Chili's there, that's obvious. But what is the potential for that space? Can you even guess as far as types of businesses?
There are businesses that are able to fit on a size lot, a lot of that size.
With appropriate parking?
Yes, with appropriate parking. You are able to fit restaurants, you're able to fit retail on that, on a lot that size. It depends on the type of lot, of business that you're gonna put there. I can think of quite a few different types
Okay.
of restaurants or retails that you're able to place there. I don't know that we've been approached by those different businesses as of yet, but it is a possibility that you can place those in rather nice size name companies that you can place there, to be quite honest with you and to be fair with you.
Right.
But like I don't know that we've been approached by those companies.
Okay.
So
I think you had mentioned, was that parking spaces? You
yes.
said it didn't meet the requirement or?
Yes, for the uses. So in
Right.
the fashion that the applicant has listed the particular uses that they're requesting, how the applicant has laid out the site, they have indicated the front portion, because it is again split zoning for this site. So which means that a portion of the site is one zoning district, and then the back portion of the site is a different zoning district. So they've laid out this their site plan saying that the front portion up here is C1 and the back portion is HO, which that's how the site breaks out. So they've said, okay, we're doing car wash in the front and we're doing detail car wash in the back. So kind of where this detail car wash lays out, they said that's what we're doing, detail car wash back here, to get around saying that the entire site is one use, which is what they're ultimately doing. However, when you do it like that, because of how our zoning ordinance is, we require a specific amount of parking spaces based off of the use and the square footage of the building. How they've laid it out, they don't meet the parking requirement for those uses based off of the square footage of those buildings. So they will be at a deficit for the parking for the use that they have up front.
Okay.
From what I'm looking at, they don't even have enough parking for employee.
I was
They
just
gonna
gonna
park
ask
across the
that.
street and take up spots in front of Hugo's?
I guess it's a applicant question.
That's
What
fine.
about employee parking? I know you said around 20 staff members, maybe. Where are they parking at?
There's parking between two buildings, that patrons would not be using. That's with the exit of the car wash and the entrance of the detail.
So this, how many parking spaces there? Was that
Seven,
six, seven?
8, 9. Showing about 9 or 10. It's all those skinnier ones are motorcycle.
So-
Oh, I see. It's just some kind of detail on it. 2, 4, 5, 8.
9.
Yeah.
8.
Nine
There's a
parking spaces.
couple at the end of the detail tunnel, it looks like, but
You say you normally run around 20 people, right?
I mean, on like the busy days,
50.
right? Yeah, and then there's a lot of them. I don't know how to put this in a nice way, but a lot of them carpool. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
A lot of them carpool to come together. You know, so.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And matter of fact, let me clarify something. As far as because Ashley just re-mentioned this to me, where their line is for those zoning districts is actually going to be here. So they placed both of their buildings inside of the C1, and they just left the parking in the back. So they have no buildings inside of the area zoned HO. So they don't realistically have a use in the HO area. They just have parking back there. The buildings will be in the front. So they absolutely wouldn't be parking in the area that's in the front.
Okay. I know you mentioned, sales tax, right?
Yes, sir.
How much sales tax is it generating right now?
From this side, I don't have those figures right now. I think just Ben had those.
It's
on our
vacant,
desk.
right?
I'm sorry.
Is it vacant? I guess the.
They do
area-
have it's a small building that's on the site right now.
Right.
It used to be an animal clinic, I think is what used to be used at that site. I don't know. I don't think it's operating at this point right now.
They're part-time?
Gotcha. Yeah, just say it's operating a couple of days a week
Okay.
currently, but
I think it's tied to a clinic in Ennis or Paris.
Yeah, okay.
mhm,
So right now it's not generating.
it's not
anything.
generating a lot of sales tax, I don't believe, at the moment,
Right.
but
And it probably really never has, right? A
as
veterinary
an animal
clinic?
clinic,
Yeah,
not just a whole lot of sales tax.
right.
No.
Okay,
But you'll get the property tax, of course, irregardless.
right. And I'm almost sure it wasn't that much based on the building age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Or what's on there, yeah.
Yeah. So we was already getting little sales tax revenue and probably not that much property tax revenue up to this point. Okay. Yeah, I'm just a question, just clarifying it.
Mhm.
Now, the road improvement, is that a partnership or is that fully their construction responsibility? The turn
The-
lane?
That portion, I believe that's on their site, would have been their responsibility for it.
So
But then TxDOT would also be doing the road widening because of the right-of-way enhancement from TxDOT. So
Yeah.
it's part of their FER plan as well.
Everything in the yellow would be their responsibility.
From their plan,
Yeah, from their
yes.
key
That
indication.
would all be theirs.
Yeah,
And that
that's
would be
theirs.
completed before they went into business.
From what the applicant has indicated, yes.
Regardless of how long it takes to text out.
Yeah.
It's just a little.
It's just a
Yeah.
little.
Okay.
Regarding the turn lane, I mean,
Commissioner, I know, remember last time they talked about traffic. So they have a traffic study in front of us, right? All right, we can see that. Talked about noise, talked about light. We know exactly what's there right now. I guess when you talk about retail, to me, whatever retail is there has to front Bernie Road, right? So how many retailers will want to face Bernie Road?
I don't think that a retailer has to face Bernie Road. I think the correct retailer, such as a food establishment, can face Ovilla Road with parking behind the building, such as even a Chick-fil-A. We have a Chick-fil-A, but think of the building.
Right.
Think of a McDonald's. We don't need a McDonald's, but think of a Waffle House. Think of Rice Box Express. No more Mexican food.
yeah, the problem is it would have to be a bigger name, no mom and pop.
No, it
restaurant
would have to be
has
something
big
like a Waffle.
Profit margins to come in and buy this. stuff.
Exactly.
So you have these minds like, well, you can put this and this and that, but these sites have to meet these retailers' requirements, right?
Yes.
It looks good on paper, but if it doesn't meet the traffic studies and households, they're not coming, no matter,
Mhm.
what we think or what it should be,
Exactly.
things of that sort. So, I guess the last inquiry was a couple of years ago, right?
Mhm.
So this property is for sale. Is that correct, Roger? The property is for sale? Or it's
Yes.
not for sale?
Yeah.
Okay. And we haven't had any other inquiries from any other developer or anything like that, right?
We haven't. I couldn't say if we aren't selling the property.
Uh-huh.
But but I
Yeah,
Nobody's
yeah,
got
yeah.
an interest
Oh,
in
yeah, no one has
for
approached
zoning.
us as far as a zoning inquiry or change or anything like that.
okay.
But I couldn't tell you if that's because they have interest currently or not.
But if someone is interested in the property and they're meeting whatever conditions are there without needing an SUP, they don't necessarily have to come to you
Correct.
to ask. Cause they can
Correct.
build something that falls within the specs.
Yes, I mean, they would come to us for the development stages of it. But
Correct.
yes, they could have concepts that they're working on prior to
They
meeting
go
with
to
us.
them, they don't necessarily.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah, they may not have to come before.
They still have to go to permits.
Yes, yeah, they
Yes.
still have to go to permits and all that fun stuff, or they might go through the E EDC.
Mhm.
So, if they decided, let's say a restaurant came in and wanted to do that, that lot's roughly 100 feet wide, east to west.
Up front, yeah, right there.
Yeah,
A little bit less in the back, it's a little bit wider. So, or north, it's about 125.
okay.
Sure.
And it has to have how much of a clearance on each side?
It depends on if they rezone it. They can rezone it and they can request, different setbacks.
But base setbacks, would be a 25 front yard setback.
Correct.
Okay.
That's from the,
So between
east.
Bernie Road and the side of the building would have to be,
on the front of the building.
no, on the side, what would be the east side? Or, yeah, the east side and the west side,
That's 25, so it would be.
25, but it's
from
50.
Bernie.
So basically you
Well,
end up
from
with,
Bernie, which will be a front, is what she's mentioning.
well, what I'm thinking is, and I don't know if I'm overthinking this, but the front of the building would probably face Ovilla with the parking in the
That-
back. You know, so you'd have like a front facing Ovilla and a back that would provide public access. So you end up with a building that's 50 feet wide.
But with a side yard setback adjacent to a street, it would still be 25 feet.
Still be 25 feet.
Mhm.
So you take a 100-foot building or a 100-foot lot towards the Ovilla end and you've got a building that's 50 feet wide. Can be as deep as they can squeeze in, but it's only 50 feet wide.
And they
Okay,
still have Workwood, fire lane.
yeah, okay.
So you're trying to place, so if you're saying if you place the building this from the.
Well, let's say you just took
south
the
side.
footprint of the car wash building as it is. It's 50 feet wide. And
Yes.
centered it. And, you know, you had a nice facade facing Ovilla Road.
Okay,
You had a nice facade in the back for people to park and walk into. Instead of having to walk 100 feet down a building and turn to get into a 5,000 square foot restaurant.
gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the use of the lot.
Right.
Okay,
And I'm thinking the same thing, you know, it's a small vacant veterinarian building sitting there for another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that does the city any good. That's my opinion. The next point of view for me is, okay, they have a location in Midlothian, they have a location in Waxahachie, they have a location in Glen Heights. So these cities saw something in this car wash. I'm just speaking what I'm looking at right here. So if you're successful in those 3 cities, surrounding cities, I'm thinking, you know, if this is put in Red Oak, do y'all think people won't use it? Or you think this would be a success? I'm just thinking out loud.
I mean, obviously, as business owners, you've done studies to justify putting another one this close to your others.
Just to kind of put it in perspective, over Waxahachie, I think the population of Waxahachie is about 50,000 people. right? Plus minus, I think so. We have in that city over 10,000 members. We wash about 25 to 30,000 cars a month. So we know that the demand is there, especially here in Red Oak, right next door, we have, obviously Red Oak, the population of what it is, what it is. We can pull from Ovella. And we just want to make it easier for people to continue car care and pay, keep the city looking nice, cars looking nice. We can clean up that lot, make sure it looks nice. That's kind of where we are. As far as, we feel like Red Oak is in our backyard. It's our hometown. And we feel like we need to have, something here to support the city with and the residents with. So we have, we've done our studies. We feel like it's a good spot. It's a good location. Red Oak is growing. There's a lot of things after hopefully Orville Road gets done and that overpass gets done. We feel like, we have an opportunity here to kind of get in and support the city with something that's truly unique to anyone else, right? You've mentioned Midlothian, Waxahachie, Glen Heights.
Right.
Those cities saw something in us, sure, but we see something in Red Oak. That's why we're putting in this detail belt, something that's, really very unique, different, and no one really does it, especially in DFW as a whole. So.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Roger, I have another question for you. The applicant did provide a traffic impact report or study. What did the city think about that? Or is there the traffic study? When y'all read it, what did y'all think?
We took a look at it. Ben would be the best one to analyze that. Unfortunately, he's been out for a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, since we've been provided with that one. So we didn't get the best set of eyes that we have on that one. So he'll be back tomorrow though. So it'll be it just
What,
doesn't
24 hours
it
later?
doesn't do us the best good with that one. So
Okay, yeah, it was just a question, because I know this was brought up last time. They
right.
have it. It's in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Our best eyes just have been escaped from us for a little bit. So
Okay, understood. Commissioners, y'all have any more questions or concerns? I'm sorry, ma'am, no, ma'am. The public hearing has been closed.
No more questions.
Susie, anything from you? Brian, anything? All right, commissioners, can I have a motion for agenda item 2, please?
I move that we accept with the caveat that all road improvements be completed prior to commencement of operations. And if I could go as far as to say completed before they start construction would be my preference, but I don't know that that's possible. Is that possible?
Well, the road improvement is construction.
so you're actually able to provide whatever recommendation that you would like to an extent.
Well, then
because you're
let's
providing a
go for that.
recommendation.
Okay.
So is how, of course, the rest of your members vote, and you're just providing a recommendation to the council as well. So
Okay.
we'll forward whatever recommendation that you guys have to council, and of course, if the applicant is wanting to go with those recommendations as well, then they'll proceed or they will not proceed with those.
I move that we
Okay,
accept
thank you. Right.
with the provision that all road improvements be made prior to construction.
It might be completed or made or what?
I'd like to see it
Completed?
completed because construction's gonna cause traffic issues at that intersection.
Okay, so you're saying the turn lanes, you're saying the proposed,
The proposed
Okay.
turn lane be completed before construction begins.
okay. That will be your motion then.
That's my motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
recommendation.
sorry.
No problem.
Thank you for making my idea make sense.
Yeah, clarification.
Well, I can second. If you want. I'll second.
All right, and all right, since Kevin's motion is was seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays?
Nay.
Motion's 2-2, so
You need 3 to pass.
3 to pass. So the next option would still be, it still will go to the city council, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So this motion will be denied, pretty
Well,
much.
yes.
Okay. Based on the vote, 2 for, 2 against, agenda item number 2 has been denied. But the applicant can still present this to the city council. Moving along to agenda item number 3, which is also conducted public hearing and consider a SUP in PD 85, revised PD 85R zoning district to allow an approximately 2,500 square foot accessory building on the property described as Lot 6, Block A of Cole Manor, and address as 211 Stonegate Way, City of Red Oak, Ellis County, Texas, case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 26-11, requested by Kevin Genter. Staff, please.
All right, thank you again, Chairman and Commissioners. Let me get over to our property. All right, so this is, of course, as you mentioned, a request for an SUP for an accessory structure. This is our site that's here. This is an existing concrete pad that's on the site. So you see the pad that's here. It's a large, what was here now is I think a basketball court is what they had here, kind of a fenced in area basketball court. The applicant's proposing to install or construct what they're saying is a garage and storage area on this already poured concrete pad on that site. I'm look at the exhibit, what they're proposing there. So they are proposing that, of course, behind the primary dwelling unit or the primary dwelling on site now. Of course, just that pad that's there, and it's their new garage. They have a garage that's attached to the house, and they're just going to do that there now. So they're poured the approach to the new garage. This is what they're saying. It's going to be inside of the actual garage. So it's going to be all open. I have a nice sized door that'll be there. And that is really it to this structure. It'll be one story, a single story garage. It's going to be constructed of the same materials as the house. So it'll look similar to the house. Of course, it'll be in less height than the house. And that's really all that's with this particular structure. If you guys have any additional questions, I'll stand for those, but that is it. It's a large garage is what the applicant is proposing for this one.
So the siding of the garage is gonna be brick,
Yes, that's what the applicant is proposing.
all 4 walls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
A shingle roof match down.
Yes.
You said this will sit on top of the existing basketball court?
Yes, sir.
So no
So
more
what they-
basketball, this is gonna be a garage?
The
I'm just asking.
applicant said that they do not utilize the basketball court.
They just purchased that house, so
So-
previous owner. of the basketball.
Oh, okay, okay. Now that makes sense. Okay,
Do we wanna do the forum and then we'll go into our question?
yeah.
Or we're already doing it. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
Does it matter? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
you talking for the,
It was just before we started asking questions, so.
well, I was just asking,
Okay.
Roger Cook.
Well, I just didn't wanna
Information.
keep doing that.
Yeah,
So,
we can-
I
we
mean,
can-
I know this is more of a Bing question, but when you pour basketball court, is that also substantial enough to hold a building?
So, interestingly, it'll be more so like Jacob. But the actual court, we'll look to that and make sure that what they poured, they'll have to pull permits as well. Now, we're just looking at the zoning for it right now, but they'll have to come back and they'll have to have an engineer's report to ensure that what,
Okay.
they'll have to, will
Okay.
ensure that the concrete that's already poured will support the structure as well as anything that they're going to put inside of there. So
Okay.
they'll have to support that.
And
They'll have to
the-
tie into that.
And the structure that's already there, the shed that's already there is gonna be directly next. It's gonna stay there?
Yes, ma'am. That's what they proposed on their site plan. So here's that shed that they have that's currently there. That's gonna meet the setbacks that we do have. And we did look inside of our system and there was a permit for that shed that's there. But that's not what they're applying for currently. They're just looking at this structure that they're putting on top of that
It's just right
already
up
poured
against the building.
cement that's there.
Okay. Thank you, Roger.
No.
This is a public hearing. Those are in favor of this item, you can come to the podium. Please state your name and your address. Those who have questions or against this item, you can go second. As of right now, the public hearing is open for new business, number 3 on your handout. All right, can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move that we close.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed for new business number 3. Commissioners, y'all have any questions for staff or
No.
anything that was presented?
are they required to notify their neighbors?
So in regards to the zoning or,
In regard to building this structure in the backyard and the neighbors on each side and,
so we would have sent out notice for this SUP in a 200-foot radius, just notifying that there is a zoning change request at this site in regards to if the applicant themselves did any additional noticing. I'm not sure if they did any subsequent, however, as far as just staff and our requirement for a zoning change, we did notify people.
Okay.
But that's the noticing extent that was required for staff.
and then the septic field that is there, it says some of the paperwork indicated that it might be modified. Or it's-
Yes, they
So
provide-
had a septic, they had a redesign, so they will be moving their septic spray fields.
Okay,
And the building official has said that it's okay.
okay, okay.
Any response from the, I guess the notices that you all received, I mean, mailed out or whatnot, any response? Did anybody respond to the mailings or?
No, we didn't receive any responses from this one
Okay.
as of yet.
Okay.
We could receive additional notice prior to city council, but prior to this meeting, we didn't receive any responses.
Okay. Anything else from anybody?
I was just noticing nobody else in the neighborhood has anything this size detached.
It's enormous.
Yeah, well,
It's not as large, maybe about 1,300 square feet. It came maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they did a pool house garage structure.
It's much closer to the house, so
I can't even tell, is it detached?
it is detached, but it's so close to the house that from the aerial, it's across the street.
Like
So from
literally across the
aerial, it's, so see where this pole is?
street? Yeah,
Okay, so they added this house. They added, this is old. They added,
Oh, okay.
a pool house.
well, I just know that, we had one, was it last month or the month before, and it was like, well, now we have to let them because 3 other people died in that neighborhood.
But
Mm-mm.
that house on state, on.
I mean, we didn't have to, right?
Yeah,
But,
we
But
don't
it
go
was-
off of that precedence.
yeah,
That one, the build out for that garage is right up against the existing driveway that was built, so it looks like they
It's
added a
far.
garage. And the door faces
Yeah.
Stonegate.
I mean, I don't,
I guess, Roger, for as the staff, what was y'all issues regarding this? For as issues or regarding this?
For which one? We recommended approval for this.
Okay,
Yeah, staff recommended approval for this. We wanted to ensure of the other items that there was no modifications, of course, to the spray fields. As you can see inside of the area, that there were spray fields that were actually, or spray fields in the back of the property, so we ensured of that. And just ensuring the other items. Like I mentioned before, there will be permits that will still have to be obtained for the structure itself whenever they come in for actual construction of it, to ensure that the cement is able to hold the structure. But, and of course, these spray fields will have to be modified and moved properly. We did get those insurances from the person that's maintaining those, that they will be done, that'll be done properly. But we didn't have any additional concerns.
So
after
we're
we
just
received all the
approving.
information.
Sorry, we're just having to approve because of the size of it.
Mm,
Cause the code is 400 square feet. Or, well, this is a garage, not a shed, but
Right. So which is why it's actually before you all, because of the size of it.
It's the size.
okay. Anything else, commissioners? All right, can I have a motion for number 3, please?
motion to approve, number 3 as written.
Second. No, I'm sorry.
I said, okay.
Okay. All right, second by Kevin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Number 3 has, been approved, 4-0. Moving along to number 4 on your handout, on the, back side of the handout. Is conduct a public hearing and consider a SUP request to allow an accessory structure, on site zone C1, located at 309 East Ovilla Road, PIN number 228620. The Ellis County Appraisal District, PIN number, City of Red Oak, Ellis County, Texas. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 26-13, requested by Rodney Jennings. Staff, please.
All right, thank you again, Chairman. This one is going to be a SUP request for an additional an accessory structure on a commercial site. They're actually requesting a imaging trailer to be operated on a site, to be in conjunction with a medical, a medical facility that they're operating at the site. So they're doing a kind of a heart, let me tell you exactly what it is. It's a heart imaging is what they're doing. That's on site, like a PET, CT, heart imaging on the site. So right now it's right here off of Ovilla and Methodist. Kind of get your bearings. So if we have 342 that's here, if you're coming west on Ovilla, and then you have Methodist, it's right here where the Enterprise car, and I think it's an additional medical facility that's right here. And then they're right inside of this one as well. So they're actually going to be it's the heart place is what they are, the actual medical facility. So they are proposing to place the structure kind of right here under what was previously, I think, a bank that was there. So just behind that is where they're going to locate that. So we'll kind of look at the proposed exhibit, and so you can see exactly where it's going to be. So the applicant is proposing to place their structure here. So that's that. Oh, so I can zoom in. So that's where the previous like bank structure where they used to have the trying to remember what you call those.
The teller.
No, where the
Teller
teller
window.
shoots up the
Drive-through.
shoot up the exactly. So they're placing it right there behind that. The applicant's also installing some landscaping, so you kind of screen that structure that's going to be there. The actual structure won't be there permanently. It'll move from place to place. It'll just be there about 3 days, twice a month on the actual site, and then they'll relocate it to their other places throughout the state or wherever they located at. The applicant will be able to explain more so where they're going to relocate that particular structure.
Okay,
Then what they'll be able to do as well is that structure will be there no longer than 2 years. Then they would have to come back and apply for an additional SUP if they so choose to keep it there, okay? But for right now, that's the extent of time frame that it will be able to be located on site. But it'll be in conjunction with that use that they have on site right now, just because they don't have area or space inside of the current clinic for
Okay.
them to operate and utilize what the applicant has described as material or machines that they have inside of this trailer that they have there. So I guess it's a big kind of machine that they have inside of this trailer that they just don't have the space to put it inside of that building. They don't have the operating room or anything like that. So
okay,
and
makes sense.
see if we can get you an image of that actual trailer. Go back to our file. Let's see if we have. I thought I had an additional picture of that trailer. I actually don't, but we did get a letter of support for that trailer to be placed on site, in which someone came and they provided the letter saying it'll be useful to have that machine on the site. So,
Okay,
but that's it. I'll stand for any additional questions that you guys may have.
all right. Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. And those that are for this item, you can go first. Please state your name and your address. Those who may be against this item or have questions, you can go second. So as of right now, the floor is open for agenda item 4.
My name is Rodney Jennings, Director of Facilities for Hart Place, and I'm here in support of this project. And open to any questions you have about the use of it's actually a mobile trailer connected to a semi. As Roderick said, we'll bring this in roughly, twice a month, leave it there for 3 days, parked here. The actual semi tractor will leave, so it's not there this time. It's a nice looking trailer. It's white. It's got decals and things. But the city did ask for us to add some landscaping to help obscure the view from Mobile Road from the traffic. And the building owners have agreed to that. So that's kind of the presentation here today.
Okay,
We also kind of wanted to make sure we didn't interfere with traffic. So got all those details worked out.
okay. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Image of that trailer. Something similar to this that they'll have on site. So kind of come in and then do your imaging there and leave out. And what we did request from the applicants, what you guys kind of see here, is that they come in and when the trailer is coming in and leaving out, when it's being dropped off on the site, instead it kind of leaves and goes out of the same entrance. It does not come out of Methodist Street. Because we do have a fire station and police station that's right there on Methodist Street. So not to interfere with that, in case we do have any type of emergency services or anything like that, we don't want to interrupt that or get in the way of that. In the event of those days that is being dropped off or being collected, that happens. So the applicants kind of provided this kind of plan of how it'll be brought in and dropped off, the direction that it'll be brought in and dropped off, or brought in and collected whenever it comes and leaves on those days. So that's what this is kind of indicating. So come in, be dropped off, and then the truck will leave, and then the same thing when it comes in and be collected as well.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? If not, can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move that we close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns regarding
I don't.
business number 4?
Is that end cap where the old bank overhang, is it occupied?
The bank,
Where the
Area?
old bank over drive to, is that end cap occupied?
no, that's not being utilized.
But I mean, even the building right next to it, there's a business in there.
Yes, I do believe
Okay.
there's a tenant that's inside of there. They're
Okay.
just not using a bank.
Yeah, oh, that's fine. I just want to make sure that the property owner didn't lease it to somebody and
Oh,
they say, you
gotcha.
can't do that.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotcha.
All right. Can I have a motion, please, for new business number 4?
I move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. New business number 4 has been approved 4-0. Moving along to number 5, which is conduct a public hearing and consider a zoning change from C1 Commercial District PD 192 to allow a mix of C1 uses and modified landscaping and parking requirements on the site located at 211 South State Highway 342. PIN number Ellis County Appraisal District 201-524. Red Oak, Ellis County, Texas. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 26-12, requested by Lawana Denniston. Sorry. Staff, please.
All right, thank you again, Chairman and Commissioners. So this one is going to be an existing site, actually, that the applicant is requesting a plan development, and she's actually going to be keeping a lot of the same uses. She's mainly requesting this plan development because of the parking that's on site and the landscaping that's on site. She's unable to meet the requirements of the current C1 standards and be able to occupy a lot of the suites that she has and meet those requirements that we have there on site with the C1, the current C1 requirements for the site. So the site is existing. It's just that because of the requirements of the C1 zoning district, those standards aren't able to be met because of it. So a lot of it, it will require her to lose a lot of the site, which will require not being able to occupy the building that's already current on site. So as with a lot of the other buildings and spaces that's right there along 342, which are harder to develop and maintain because they're already developed, then they're coming in and they're requesting to either rezone or something like that. So to keep our sites that are right there in current status and occupied, then we're going in and kind of rezoning those sites and making sure that we keep those tenants and those property owners relevant, or not necessarily relevant, but keeping them kind of stable and in the same area. So that's what the applicant is looking to do right there on site. So kind of looking at our proposed plan that we have here. So this is our site right here. So the applicant actually has 18 existing parking spaces. And as you can see right here on the site plan that they have shown, this site actually cuts off right there at the beginning. So it's not a lot of pervious area that's there. It's just a lot of cement there. So we have shown all of the kind of landscaping that they have on site, some of those kind of end caps that are there that they're still maintaining for its landscaping. They're going to keep that up. And those parking spaces, they're going to keep those parking spaces there and just keep some of those C1 uses that they're able to keep on site and take away some of those C1 uses that don't make sense kind of right there on site. So, we'll be utilizing that and removing some of those additional C1 uses. So, that's kind of it for that particular site. And I'll stand for any additional questions you guys may have.
All right. Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. Those that are in favor of this item, you can go first. Or if you have questions or concerns, you can go second. If you do come to the podium, please state your name and your address. And as of right now, the public hearing is open. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you have your option. Yeah, you don't have to say anything, or if you want to come to the podium, you can.
That's South Philippines.
Okay.
And so if you have any questions, that site's been there since 1995, I think. And so I've seen Red Oak grow. And I am just here to have that made my dream come through. And now we're leasing that building, my husband and I, for other people to have their dream come through. So that's what I'm here for the different zoning. So got any questions? I'm here.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi, Gina Ramirez. I'm at 131 Mabry Lane. And I'm a proposed tenant for Miss Luana. And what I would like to bring to the area is a small grab-and-go cafe with healthy options, with all the schools and all the faculty and everything going on in the area. It will be a limited use hours, morning and lunch. It will be a grab-and-go type facility with the heavy emphasis on mobile orders and deliveries with all the schools in the area. My son attended the high school and his only option after school was Whataburger, and now we have McDonald's. So I would like to bring some superfood bowls, some smoothies, items that are gluten-friendly, gluten-free, dairy-free. And with I know there's limited parking, but I think with the limited seating, it's not gonna be a sit down, I'm gonna get a country fried steak with biscuits and gravy. It's gonna be, I'm gonna pick up a quick coffee and a breakfast to go. And I think that's something that's really needed in the area. That's what I want to do. And like Luana said, make our dreams come true. We have a ice cream, little shop right there that's getting a lot of business, and they're really busy in the evening. So I think it works out perfect that, we'll be morning hours and they'll be more heavy on the evening hours. But that's what we want to do. We want to bring it, for the teachers, the faculty, our athletes, that need some healthy, food options. I think it'll be a great addition to the community.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. You don't like Whataburger, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take a number one any day. All right. All right. No one else? Can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move that we close public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns?
No questions.
Susie, Brian, anything?
Good.
All right. Can I have a motion for agenda item or new business number 5, please?
Move that we approve number 5.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 4-0. New business number 5 has been approved. Moving along to number 6, which is conduct a public hearing and consider a zoning change from C1 PD to allow 193 to allow office, retail, and restaurant no drive through allowed uses on the site located at 222 Dinah Lane, PIN number 294-749 from the Ellis County Appraisal District, City of Red Oak, Ellis County, Texas, case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 26-14, requested by, is it Deja Weber? Dacia Weber?
Dacia.
Dacia, okay, Dacia Weber. Staff, please.
All right, yes, thank you again, Chairman and Commissioners. This is sadly our last case of the evening, so we're gonna have to depart soon.
Okay,
But,
sorry.
yes, kind of get our bearings with this one. We have 35, west of 35. It's actually gonna be right here at the corner of Overlook, Ovilla, kind of where Carson is to the south of there. So right there at that corner, is where this one is gonna be located. So this lot, that's kind of right here, it's gonna go from this entire length of this one here. If you guys kind of see where this one is, across the street from that Best Thing block and all of those little shops that are right there. Okay, so kind of look at our exhibit that we have here. The applicant is proposing. So applicant is proposing this retail kind of retail and a more so restaurant shopping strip that's going to be located here at this corner, which will be kind of needed, kind of be an entrance into this area that's going to be here. They're proposing, you know, the parking that'll be on the north and on the south of this strip, as well as they'll have patios that'll be on the west of the strip as well. Restaurant on the north and the south of that strip, as well as some office retail in the middle of that building. They're going to limit those uses, kind of C1 type of uses that'll be there. They limited some of those C1 uses. Is going to be mainly come in and sit down type of uses, no to go or no drive through type of restaurant uses that are going to be listed as far as their uses there. A lot of the, like I mentioned, additional C1 uses that'll be allowed on site, but I don't think the applicant has shown us that they're looking to do any additional uses outside of the restaurant initially, and office retail type of uses on the site currently. They have shown on their, get to it real fast, on their landscape plan that they will be meeting all of the current required landscaping requirements. So they'll have the trees and shrubs around the entire site. Requirements will be met as far as along Dana Street and Overlook and Ovilla, with the required for the trees and shrubs, and all the parking that they have will be inside of the PD to meet the requirements for the site, as well as the shrubs. They're also going to, because of that, kind of the, I guess the I don't know what I'll call this, I don't know what that thing is that's right there to the east of them, that kind of water tower-ish looking item that'll be not so appeasing to the eyes that's to the east of them. They kind of put some shrubs and screen that off. They put a fence around it so you won't see it as much. They are proposing a rooftop type of terrace to the structure on the north side of that, so to have an outside for that cafe or restaurant that they'll have there as well, to go along with their restaurant that they're proposing. So they're looking to do that on the site as well. And outside of that, I think that's it for this particular site. I'll stand for any additional questions that you guys have. I'm sorry, they are proposing the three-sided architecture for their site. I forgot to, so we'll jump to that. So it'll have the look similar as far as inviting and opening for the site whenever you come to it, because they do have the three streets that they're going to be facing. So you'll have, it won't look like the back of a building whenever you're coming to it as much whenever you see it. So that's why you have the patios off of the one street, as well as you'll have the doors off of the other street, off the north of the street. So you'll see that off of Dana, as well off Dana's off in the south, Ovilla on the north. So you have doors and windows and things of that nature. So when you're seeing the building, so it'll look like you can enter on either side of the building. So it'll be more inviting. So kind of, and when you think about it, when you see something like a Starbucks, when it's like you can go into either side of the building, that's what this entire structure will be more so like, to where it's inviting on either side of the building. I'll stand for any additional questions.
All right, thank you, sir.
Quick question. Is there enough parking? Count
For
with
this,
handicap, 20 slots.
for the site, So they have wrote inside of their ordinance, the parking requirements to sustain for this site. Staff is comfortable with the parking that they have included. I believe that if they are needing additional parking for the site, I think that that will be a good thing for the for the applicant for this site, which means that they're doing really well on this site. But because of the site configuration, the parking that they have shown or that they're showing, I think that they have, it's staff's opinion that they have did a good job at making what they can out of what they have on the site in the configuration of this site. So
Have they said what kind of restaurants they're, like, do they already have idea of one, or is it just
They've
them building
mentioned-
it and?
So the applicant has mentioned a couple of restaurants and one being, yeah.
Okay,
So there's restaurants to go.
they're just
Mhm.
turnover. But they're not showing any,
We sit down right by the different
Yeah.
restaurants here.
Yeah, all of them will be more so come
And if
in.
they're doing a
Grab and go,
rooftop,
grab and go.
no
Mhm.
one's gonna go up
Yeah.
to leave in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I talk?
And so that one will actually have.
Am I able to talk?
And they have patio, so it'll be something that I guess you can come in and kind of sit down, or if it's workspace or anything like that. But that'll be more so the applicant will be able to explain exactly, I guess, their vision on what they are seeing for this particular site.
like, no plans for like a drive-through.
No drive-through will be allowed actually on the site. That's part of the zoning for this one. No.
I do believe that the owner is online, watch now for Greg, that if you guys have questions for them, they may be able to answer. Greg, you give them access to see.
Yeah, Greg, do we have access to, is the owner online, Mr. CEO?
Hello?
I think that's the owner there.
Oh, yes, so give us 1 second.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. This is a public hearing, and those are in favor of this item, you can go first, or those who maybe have any questions, you can go second. So as of right now, the public hearing is open. And sir, you can please state your name and your address, and you can give us a little bit of idea of what you're trying to do. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Dacia Weber. So the end cap, the first end cap is a TI market for Smoothie King. I have a franchise agreement with Smoothie King, so they're gonna be the end cap.
Okay,
To the north,
To the Oakville, yes, north.
okay. Anything else you wanna tell us, or?
So the other end cap on Dana Street is PJ's Coffee, and that's a grab and go as well.
Okay.
cool.
Anything else, ma'am, you wanna add, or you're just fine with that?
We're fine with that unless you have additional questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Appreciate you guys.
All right, and we don't have anyone else, so can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move that we close the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed. I do have a question for the staff. Is there a red light proposed for that Overlook Drive and Ovilla Road? That intersection right there?
I do believe there is a
It's looking that way.
light proposed for this.
Because that traffic is real heavy. That's why I was asking. right there. I've been down that Diner Street, kind of like a shortcut, and it just,
Yeah, there's no light there.
yeah.
See if I can get to our there for.
There is one plan for Overlook. I believe there's one plan for Grand Meadow, which is to the west of that. But I don't know if it was solidified for Overlook. It needs to be.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I know it's one right down the way from there, but I agree. I'm not sure if it's one for there. I know once that overpass is constructed, and I think that should kind of take away some of that congestion that's there. But I'm not sure if that would do everything there. I know.
I can tell you, it looks like they're gonna straighten that out. If you look on the CAD, DPS already owns a good portion of that area that she's only actually got 0.75 acres there, basically. I was looking on the CAD, so like, we're see the curve and overlook. It actually is gonna straighten out. DPS has already overtaken that.
Right, so they
Yeah.
need a portion of the west side of the property that's
Right.
dedicated for white.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was sold to TechStop.
which I guess it probably is gonna include a red light there.
Well,
I'm just-
the way that new bridge design, there's some of it where it's like by that point, you're already going up.
Yes.
And if you're gonna go into their place, you're gonna be in those right lanes and turn in, or you're gonna keep going down on the service road.
Yeah,
You may not be able to get there from the other side.
You
With the-
may have to go make a U-turn.
Yeah, without turning around.
Yeah.
Cause the kind of the way that bridge, that whole design is.
But I do, isn't there a left turn lane on the westbound side?
Over here.
There is
There is
currently.
currently.
Yeah, it's the one where everybody
Yeah.
flips to you,
On Benz.
but I'm not sure if it'll stay that way.
I don't think they'll
Access
stay that way,
bans.
it'll be too many lanes. They're not gonna put in a dedicated left turn lane,
Yeah. Maybe.
maybe, but I don't think so.
Well, the bridge is pretty wide. Maybe that whole bridge will have a flow as you come down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's real hard to tell even in the plans how that whole
How
that
thing
thing's gonna
works.
work.
But I do believe, I asked Ben years ago about, traffic light going there.
Right.
I think he stated because of when they finished the overpass construction, there's going to be a signal there and Overlook is going to be too close to have a.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's
too
what I thought.
close.
that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
We could put one there. If you guys push for it.
I don't know how.
So you're saying we need to request that? Is that what you're
Look,
saying?
I have seen them like a mile apart, less than a mile apart in some places. You could.
Yeah, me
it
too.
could be
Yeah.
required. Yeah, it could be required. But off of that ramp, it may be a little bit tough. So, but I absolutely see what you're, with all of those lanes, having to cross those lanes, if we're trying to, like they show here, turn left,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
going
I've
west,
been there before.
then that's.
I've been there. that
I
intersection
could
quite a few times.
absolutely see
Yeah.
how
I've been
that
there-
would be
I've been there quite a few times. You really got to get on the gas
Yeah.
if you're making that right-hand turn.
Sorry, and we're probably getting off topic, but it's weird to me that Grand Meadow is gonna have one when there's not a street on the other side versus Overlook.
Goes
Mhm.
across.
I don't know.
Okay,
Anyways. All
that was
right.
just my question.
Right,
All right.
Thank you, Roderick.
no problem.
Commissioners, y'all have any questions or concerns?
No.
All right, and can I have a motion for agenda item 6, please?
Move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Agenda item 6 has been approved 4-0. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you all for your participation in the Planning and Zoning Commission